Hi, in today's video, I'll talk about the different fears that you may be having that are preventing you from starting a business. Have you always wanted to start a business but had too much fear that prevented you from even making the first step? Almost everybody deals with this because you're about to start something that you have no idea whether it will work. You're scared of failure. You're scared that your logo doesn't look good enough, perhaps, or you're nervous that you're finally revealing something that you've been working on for so long to the world and let it be exposed to other people's opinion. There are plenty of things that can make going onto entrepreneurship very scary and will make you not to take action. Things that will cripple you from making a decision. I'm going to talk about common fears that make people hesitant to start a business and how to deal with these fears. The first one is fear of not getting enough clients or enough customers. For those of you who may be thinking and questioning yourselves, how do I start to get clients, customers, sales? How do I get people to my website to buy my products? That is actually a scarcity mindset. When I started my coaching business, I used to have the same fear. What if I don't get enough clients? What if I don't get enough phone calls? What if I don't get enough to make it through? And I used to think that one needs to deal with hundreds and hundreds of people in order to make a sustainable living. But when I really looked at the numbers after a certain period of time, I came to the realization that one only needs to attract a much smaller number of consistent people than I thought in order to sustain costs, the costs of living and all those different areas. This changed my thinking that you need thousands of customers in order to make sales. So start by finding and concentrating on a very loyal base, people that are going to get excited about your product or service and then come back to you. And this is where you start solving the scarcity mindset problem. For an in-depth look on how to get potential clients excited about your products or your startups, watch my video tips on validating a business idea, which you can find on the link above. All we need is one person to think that your product is good, and by word of mouth, they will tell other people that your product or your services are good. And you will certainly start having referrals. If you're providing quality products or quality services, it doesn't matter how oversaturated you think the market is. The market is not oversaturated. This is a scarcity mindset and a limiting belief which you should overcome once you set your sight on your business. The bottom line is, if you have a set number of true fans and they support you till the end, if they're supporting you economically, financially, by liking your videos, watching them, buying your products or services, then you can still make a very good living out of that. If you have a set number of clients that have you booked from week to week, and I'm not talking about overbooked, just booked solid from week to week, you can maintain your lifestyle. You can climb the ladder when it's time, eventually grow your business. You could hire people, get new equipment. What you need is a solid base to be successful. Another common fear is a fear of, I don't know how it's done. I don't know anyone who's done it. I don't know any friends or family that have started a business or is self-employed, and maybe I cannot do it too. And that is where I challenge your beliefs around being able to do it or not being able to do it. And the beauty of social media now is that we can reach out to so many people, start connecting, start learning, start networking. You could hire yourself a coach or a business person who can help you navigate all those strategic moves that you need in order to start your business. Those strategic moves to sustain a business, and reminding yourself that you could be destined to walk a path unlike anyone else, which is why you don't know anyone else on that path. Luckily, with networking, for example, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and so many other platforms that are available, you can reach out to experts who can help you maneuver through your chosen niche in business. Find yourself a strong community to surround yourself with. It can be tough to get people to actually support you and believe in what you're doing. So having those kind of people around you is very important. And even if your family or close friends do not support you, find a group, find somebody, put yourself out there, check your hashtags, follow people, try to find the people that you want to connect with. And this is what got me thinking about how I can support people, how I can build something that would support, that would encourage, that would inspire and empower people who are starting businesses. And that's with my coaching business, Mompreneur Society. So if you're looking for a community, looking for support, there are resources out there. There are groups out there like the ones like the one I've just mentioned, where you get personalized feedback from your coaches, from other professionals, from other people who are probably in a similar situation as you. Another fear is that of losing the security to pay and financial responsibilities. This is one of the biggest fears that comes up the most and hinders a lot of people from starting or scaling their own businesses. And personally, I can relate the most with this one. The question that comes up here is, how do I pay my bills and pay my overhead expenses and all the other needs? If you find yourself facing this kind of fear, my first advice is to invest in professional advice. Do away with the scarcity mindset and make some professional investments. Go for outsourcing, try automation if you want to be an online business owner. Invest in coaching to take your business to the next level. In fact, a coach can help you see past your own blind spots, walk you through the blocks that are holding you back, and build a business that you love on your own terms. You can get more in-depth information on those investments by watching my video, Investments That You Should Be Making for Your Business. On the other hand, you may find that these investments are out of your reach as you start your business. So this is where I recommend that you start small. If you already have a 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work, you may decide or dedicate 1 or 2 hours a day to your new business. And once you get enough money in your savings account or business account, then you will have something to sustain your business for a longer duration. This could be a couple of months, maybe 4 to 6 months, depending on what works for you and your family. Let this be your learning period where you get to learn all the financial ropes in the business. You will gradually determine how much money you need to have for different expenses, how much you're making every month, consistent sales in your one-on-one service, group service, whether you're selling a product, selling a course, or whatever you're selling. At the end of the day, we are all selling something. We are trying to pitch some type of idea. So in regard to that, fear of financial stability, I would say start small. Start small so that you can figure out if this is something that you want to do full time. Just start whether you're doing it on weekends or evenings or when you're not on the clock for work, and then slowly you will have that snowball effect where it will roll down the hill and your income will start to accumulate. This will enable you to transition out. But remember, it's paramount to get professional advice when starting your business. Another fear is of starting but not growing. This is the kind of fear that people have when they have already started their business, but it's probably not growing as fast as they want. The best piece of advice I can give you is to stay consistent, stay on course, and ask yourself, am I doing everything to attract clients? Am I doing everything to sustain and keep my clients, to have them come back for my products? Am I doing everything that I'm supposed to do? If the answer is yes, then it's just a matter of time before you pick up. So just be consistent with what you're doing. We all hope maybe to achieve overnight success. However, when you talk to most entrepreneurs or people who are self-employed, most of them will tell you it was never overnight success. They knew that it was going to be a slow start, and then it grew from one step to the next to a point where they had to hire more employees or hire a team or even start outsourcing different areas. So if you find yourself panicking because your business has not picked up as fast as you would want, then what you have to do is show up every day. Be consistent and make sure your product or service is quality. By the end of the day, we want that word of mouth from our clients, that referral built on trust. And remember, just because you didn't meet your target or set goals doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that you didn't meet your goal, period. This is because your first business idea may actually not be what you'll end up with 5 years down the line. It's not permanent. Maybe your first business idea is not the right thing for you. You might come to realize that it's something that you don't want to actually do. But it wasn't until you took that first step that you discovered that you actually like a particular aspect of business. Maybe I should focus on this particular area of my business. You realize that this is where you want to be attracting clients and eventually change direction. Business takes shape in so many different ways. Therefore, failing could honestly be a redirection in another way. You can't just see the bigger picture yet, but it all plays out in divine order. Knowing that makes fear less scary. And here is my bonus tip. The way you can overcome irrational fears is by thinking through. Some fears are rational, of course. For example, some people who cannot swim are afraid to get into the water. They should be, but they need to learn how to swim. And that's the same thing in your business. Learn how to do what you're trying to do. Master it and then do it, and you won't have anything to be afraid of eventually. If you hit a setback or hit a roadblock, you may have to go another direction. You may have to turn around, perhaps go back a few steps and then go forward again. You're the only one that will stop yourself from succeeding. Fight any fears that might be irrational. Invest in yourself. Reach your exponential greatness and you can have phenomenal results. So in summary, I've talked about 4 fears to overcome when starting a business. I've talked about fear of not getting enough customers, fear of failure, fear of losing financial security, and fear of not growing. They are all valid, and I believe that all entrepreneurs will experience some, if not all, of these fears at some point. But the reality is you can overcome them and start and grow a successful business. Please subscribe if you like the content and if you want to hear more of it. Thank you for watching.